Hello friends, welcome back. Wow, before we start the video, last video got 200 plus views in just 18 hours. It's phenomenal. Wow, thank you for that. And before we start, my name is Louis, that's me, and I'm still a history learner. I'm not an expert, so that's the reason why I call myself a history learner, because I'm still learning. And I do these videos, it's because I love doing these videos and I love to learn about history. So that's me for the new viewers. So today we're actually going to react to AlternateHistoryHub today, and it's called What If Germany Won World War I? And this is part 2 of his series. I don't know how many parts he has of this, so yes. Now, last video is actually about Paul Vorbeck, and it's World War I in Africa. And I have a video I'm going to post maybe after part 1 and part 2. Maybe after part 2 of this video series that Alternate History have. So yes, it'll come out soon. So what if Germany won World War I part 1? Volume. That's cool. That's a cool introduction. Part 1. Victory of the Kaiser.
World War I was called the war to end all wars. Europe was now at a new age, a crisis, where tradition and the modern day were increasingly at odds. Industrialization progressed faster than the mentality did. The old noble ways of gentleman war clashed with the brutal reality of the trenches, and because of this, millions died. World War I was the war to end them all, because this was the last time the old European ideals would fight, the last time monarchies would reign. From who won and lost, new ideas replaced them for this industrial world, like fascism and communism. Simply put, it set the stage for the next. Germany in our timeline brought Russia into civil war, caused immunity in France, and almost broke the Allies in 1917. Before you know, America. It was just by bad decisions that we saw a 20th century of American ascendance, when it easily could have become the German century. Only question is, what would this look like?
To be honest with you, Germany will not win this war. Like, even with like a what if, Germany can't win this war because of the naval blockade of the British Empire. British Empire, and that because of the naval blockade, they successfully cut it off important resources that was getting delivered to Germany. So yes.
What if in an alternate timeline, Germany and the Central Powers won World War I? Let's go back to 1914 with the assassination of Austrian royalty Franz Ferdinand.
Although don't remember, it's not just Germany, Ottoman Empire, and the Austro-Hungary. They have Bulgaria too.
Ferdinand was dead by the hands of a Serb nationalist, and the dominoes began to fall into place. Treaties certainly forced a lot of countries to declare war for their allies. There is one military decision that Germany made that almost certainly lost them the entire war: invading Belgium. France had built up their military border in anticipation for a German attack. Germany, however, had a plan, the Schlieffen Plan. Bypass the French defenses on the border by invading through Belgium, which was undefended. By going around this meat grinder, the Germans would have easy access to Paris.
Yeah, the Belgium successfully halted the Germans in their country because before this they asked if they can pass through Belgium, but the Belgian, I don't know what they call it, government refused, so they were just forced to fight back. So that's the reason why the Germans was halted in Belgium. That's another reason why.
Well, that's not so bad. Belgium's tiny. They can't defend themselves. But Germany ignored that Belgium had one key friend, the British. And the British...
Yeah, because the British actually guarantees Belgium. I forgot about that.
Had one single condition that it stressed shouldn't be violated. Don't violate.
Oh yeah, don't invade neutral countries.
Belgian neutrality. Germany, in a Prussian fashion, believed more in military action than diplomatic consequences, and marched anyway. It was this single act that brought on the wrath of the British Empire, redefining the absolute scale this war would be fought on. The British would block German ports and cut the transatlantic cable between the United States and Germany. In this alternate timeline, for Germany to not lose the war, one major step is it simply doesn't invade Belgium. By doing this, Germany avoids immediate conflict with Britain. Now, this doesn't guarantee the Brits would stay out of it. Keep in mind a Central Power victory.
Yeah, this the UK is still allies with France and Russia.
Would cement German dominance in Europe, and we can't have that. But without a provocation, though, this would buy Germany enough time to gain a major advantage over France. Even if it was a year before Britain entered, it was 4 years of trench warfare between the British and French combined against Germany alone. France alone wouldn't even have the population to sustain a German offensive. So in this alternate timeline, Germany's military keeps France at bay through a small border they share at Alsace-Lorraine, while the majority of their forces fully mobilize against Russia, aiding their Austrian allies. Whether or not this alternate strategy would work, who knows, but it does solve the whole keep Britain out of the war thing. No matter what German military strategy is, resentment is still assured against the Tsar. Revolution can still undermine the Russian war effort like in our timeline.
Yeah, because even before World War I, the Tsars are in hot water.
And force the Russians to negotiate. I'll focus on this aspect in a bit. The German forces on the Eastern Front now come to the west. Millions of troops fighting in a small area until one side finally breaks. And without Britain, that side is most likely France. Germany...
Well, I don't know about that. Britain can still probably send some troops to help their allies so that they can keep the status quo in Europe, but hey,
then invades. In our timeline, Germany almost destroyed the French defense in 1917, before the Americans arrived. So it wouldn't be long before the French simply can't defend themselves and are pushed back. Soon, Paris falls. The war in the West and the East is officially over.
But we still don't know. Does the Ottoman Empire still joins the war? Maybe they still joins the war, and might actually because of to attack Russia. We don't know about that. I'm still pissed because what, they're not treated. They have like Bulgaria too. Don't forget about Bulgaria.
Both sides tried to fight Germany and lost. Would Britain just sit back and allow Germany to beat two nations in a war, achieving complete dominance?
And because of Britain not in World War I, the Italians might actually be not in World War I too. That's gonna be like my what if. Like Italy, the reason why they joined the war, it's because there's like secret negotiations, and because of that they got guarantees of some land, and they joined the Allies or the Entente. But hey, but knowing that there's no Britain, maybe there will be no Italian front. I don't know.
Over mainland Europe? Probably not.
You know what? Yeah, maybe Italy keeps or stays neutral in this war.
They declare war. It's unlikely, however, that they'd win. As the British were the masters of the sea, the Germans were the dominant military of the land. It's doubtful Britain alone could put a dent in the German occupation. America would simply stay out of the war. In exchange for a ceasefire, an agreement is made very similar to the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. In just one signing of a document, Germany and Austro-Hungary seized Poland, the Baltic states, Belarus, and all of the Ukraine and Crimea. By 1918, most of Europe is now either a Germanic puppet or in the empire. Why would they do this? Germany feared Russian dominance. Russia for centuries was this backwater European wannabe. It had size and manpower, but was woefully poor and far behind technologically. In the last few decades, something changed. It began industrializing rapidly, and if Russia fully industrialized, there was no defeating them. By seizing their valuable lands, diplomatically by military agreement, Germany legally can neuter the Russian state. Quarter of their population, now German. Most of their coal, now German. But this is just the beginning. If there's one thing Slavs don't like, it's being invaded and occupied. So the 2 million German troops in the east now face a guerrilla war against insurgents, including ones funded by the Soviets. France is blamed for putting the worst of the reparations on Germany, but it's not like Germany would be so kind if they were in the same position. In this alternate timeline, Germany keeps Alsace-Lorraine. They impose massive amounts of war reparations, and the French people have to deal with a brief German occupation. Imagine France at this time. They had lost 2 wars now to the new German Empire, basically powerless.
Oh yeah, the Franco-Prussian War and World War I. Okay. I actually didn't know what another war, but then I remembered, oh yeah, the Franco-Prussian War.
To stop a state that was practically brand new. It's not hard to imagine elements of French society would be resentful against the Germans. Does this mean we'll have an alternate French Hitler? Probably not. Even
I'm sorry, but a French dictator equivalent, not Hitler, who is French. Maybe French dictator, but for having a French Hitler, we don't know.
Even if France actually did have a French Hitler, they just don't have the population to win a war. World War I was defining for one reason. It set the stage for who the winners and losers would be in the 20th century. Not just in terms of borders, but ideology. Old European aristocratic ways died with the Kaiser and the Austrian Emperor. Don't think Germany and Austria expand monarchies to France or make the king a new power in Britain, but they do send a message that old European aristocracy and nobility is still relevant. It's very possible that the 20th century could have become the German century.
Okay, yeah. And it could be a century where there will still be monarchs. There will be no democracies. We don't know. It's just an alternate history. But still, I'm still thinking, Austria-Hungary doesn't really look like a country that is very stable, knowing that they have a lot of ethnicities, different cultures. Hey.
The Germans wanted an economic union that united all people of Europe around Germany. Without the rise of the Nazis, intellectuals, including people like Albert Einstein, continued their scientific endeavors inside Germany. However, we're just getting started. The Central Powers have established themselves as victors in this war. What matters is how they use this victory. This, however, is one scenario. This is Cody of Alternate History Hub.
Is it done? Hold on. Okay, so it's done, guys. That was fantastic. I liked that. And my next question is, what will be the next World War II look like? Will France, okay, the population problem, yeah, France will not win another war because of the population problem, but I don't know, what would World War II look like? Will there be a World War II, or it's just done? I don't know. It's it's a alternate history. So everyone has different opinions and different what ifs. So yes, folks, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more videos like this, and part 2 might actually be coming soon, and the new type of content that I'm actually planning to do, it will come soon, sooner or later, maybe next month, maybe next week, I don't know. So yeah, thank you for watching. Goodbye.